you're going to have more claims activity, which does, again, enhance your fact pattern. Again,
Brian,
claims,
I'd just like to add here that it's very beneficial when Brian and I work with a company to try to reach out to the traditional insurance provider, the insurance agent or the agency that's providing either the guaranteed cost program in insurance or a group captive, because we're really trying to optimize the coverage between what the business is getting their normal insurance on, and it needs to be emphasized. This captive insurance for these low frequency, can be high severity risk, does not replace the insurance that the operating company has with it in the traditional market. This is a supplemental policy. We're trying to balance. We're trying to optimize what coverages we choose in the captive versus the other. And so in putting these together, the sooner that we can team up with and work with the insurance provider, the better. I have one company that Brian and I did that they've allowed me to use their name as a reference, and it's G.E. Johnson Construction in Colorado Springs. They're about a $400 million construction company, mainly commercial and in the mountains. Their insurance agent is IMA, a local insurance agency here in town. And we worked very closely with IMA for the last 4 or 5 years and do an insurance audit every year to review what coverages are in the captive versus what coverages G.E. Johnson is buying direct. And that is really, when you do it that way, you're really optimizing the coverages, and it's a true risk management tool as opposed to anything else. Obviously, they're interested in the tax benefits, but they're also interested in the risk management side of this, of balancing the two different insurance companies, the one they own versus buying insurance in the traditional market. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, and we've had a couple of great questions. I'm going to pause just for a few minutes here to answer some questions. We had one individual. We had asked if we have no claims legitimately, Anthony, is that okay? And the answer is yes. I mean, if you have no claims, then you can't put those in there. But I think it boils down is when you structure this captive program, we need to make sure we're putting things in there that do show some frequency every year. And, if you go about this program and you put in risks that never happen, then of course you'll never have claims. So again, that's where maybe putting in a deductible on your workers' comp, or looking at legal defense costs or collection risks, certain types of risks most customers do have claims on every year. I had one individual ask about putting the captive offshore in order to defer taxes. Well, the type of captives we've been focusing on today are taking advantage of the U.S. section of the tax code, the 831B election. So when customers do decide to go offshore with these 831B captives, they are making the election to be taxed as a U.S. company and making the 953B election. So the only thing that happens when you go offshore is you're regulated offshore, your books and records are offshore, but you're still taxed as a U.S. company. And under this section of the tax code, there is a permanent arbitrage. So there is no enhanced deferral purpose. There is no enhanced tax deferral by putting this type of captive offshore. There are some other types of captives we're not going to get into today, non-controlled foreign companies that have been around for years that you could put offshore and defer some tax potentially.